Good people, friends, family members, truck drivers. Forgive me, man. I'm eating right now. I haven't ate all day, so give me something to eat right now. I want to make a quick video to share with you guys, just to kind of go over my experience during my first week of training. I haven't been able to get much content, unfortunately, because during my training period, I want to make sure I respect the privacy of other people, especially my trainer. You know, he may not want to be on camera. I didn't ask because honestly, that might be a little unprofessional to just whip out a camera and, you know, be like, do you mind if I record for my YouTube channel? I don't want to seem in any kind of way that I'm not serious about learning the business, and that I prioritize that first above anything else. So you'll definitely get more content as I go along, and once I'm assigned my own truck, I'll do my best to make sure I capture as much as possible so you guys learn with me. But in the meantime, I did catch a little bit of an experience that we had, so I'm gonna show that to you, and then I'll be able to go over a couple of things that I've learned this week. All right, so one thing that I learned, while safety might be a high priority for the truck company that you work for, that does not necessarily mean it's the same priority for the clients that the company works for. So we are working this Dollar General account, and we just had an incident where we were trying to unload the product off of the truck. This is the product here. We got those silver crates right there is what they call rolltainers. We got one rolltainer onto this ramp. This is a pretty aged ramp. This is a Dollar General trailer, and at the specific distribution center that we got it from, apparently all of the trailers are very old and very used, very worn, which means it's a safety concern. So when we were rolling the first rolltainer off of the trailer, the brake clamp on this ramp did not catch it. So the whole rolltainer rolled completely off, and the product spilled off of the rolltainer. So we have this chemicals leaking out of the boxes that obviously can't be sold. And I mean, the entire trailer was stacked to the ceiling. There was no way to roll it out anyway, not safely. So we had to pull as many boxes as we can down from the rolltainer. And we had our first incident. The whole rolltainer just fell off of the ramp. The ramp actually looked like it was about to implode. It looked like the weight of the rolltainer was gonna weigh down the entire ramp. The ramp was about to break. This could have been pretty bad. Someone could have got hurt between my trainer and I, but luckily no one did get hurt. We're gonna call dispatch to see if we can even continue unloading this, because it doesn't really look safe, to be honest with you. Okay, my first week of truck driving, I wanted to go over a couple things that I learned. Before I got my CDL, I would think to myself that because I consider myself to be a fairly good driver, that learning how to drive a truck really wouldn't be that difficult. I honestly felt as if someone gave me an 18-wheeler that I would be able to figure out how to drive it myself. I've definitely learned that that's just not the case. To do this job, to do this as a career, you have to understand that this actually is a skill. It takes a skill that you have to practice and develop and learn how to do, which is why they're willing to pay you very well in order to do it. It takes practice, it takes focus, and it takes a person to be aware and cognizant as to what's going on around them. I learned that. I understand that now, especially during training. I think it's inevitable that you're going to experience almost every week, whether you're involved in it or not, something that you see on the road that is dangerous and could potentially turn into an accident. I want you to think about when you're driving your car, what speed do you have to go for you to feel some sort of feeling of intimidation that makes you feel a bit unsafe, like you need to slow down before you may be involved in an accident? I know for me, that speed is anywhere between 95 to 100 miles an hour. When you're driving a truck, especially if you're a beginner like I am, the top speed of an interstate can make you feel that way, honestly. And honestly, it doesn't even have to be an interstate. We were in Tennessee and we were on the back roads, right? This isn't the interstate at all. But these roads are very narrow for an 18-wheel vehicle to be moving down at the speed limit. The speed limit, I believe it was anywhere between 40 to 50 miles an hour. And you're just in one lane and you have incoming traffic coming from the other lane. And you have to manage to keep the 18-wheeler within its lane without having the rear of the trailer veer off the street. Because if that happens, especially if you're on some kind of slope street or whatever, the trailer can tip over and most likely it's gonna pull the truck with it, and you'll be in an accident. For trucks within Werner, they have governors on their truck that only allow the trucks to reach a top speed of 65 miles an hour. If you put it in cruise control, that'll allow you to get it up to 68. But that's it. If you hold the pedal to the ground in one of their trucks, it's only going to reach 65 miles an hour. It took a couple of days for me to get comfortable doing that on the highway. Reaching just a regular speed limit on the interstate in an 18-wheeler, that is intimidating for a new driver, because it's a large amount of weight that's moving at a very high speed, right? At least for a vehicle that size, that's a pretty high speed to be going. Another final thing I wanted to share with you that I've learned: it's very, very important that you utilize all of your mirrors. Each mirror has a vantage point that another mirror is not able to see. And I still have to make sure I get better at this myself. Someone told me one time, anytime that you're signaling to get into another lane, a good rule of thumb is to count to 3, right? Wait 3 seconds before shifting lanes, because it does two things. One, it allows the person that may be in the lane next to you time to notice that you're getting ready to change lanes, and they have an opportunity to either get out of the way or speed up. Your largest blind spot is on the passenger side of your truck. By simply just waiting 3 seconds before you change lanes, another car that may be in that blind spot has enough time to speed up to allow you to spot them in one of your mirrors. I would like to pass that to anyone that might be helpful to, because it works for me. Anytime I'm changing lanes, I try to make sure I signal early. Sometimes you don't have that opportunity to do it because something unexpected may pop up on the highway or on a curve or whatever. But anytime I can, I try to signal early, and I make sure I wait 3 seconds before I change lanes. There's so much that I've learned this week, but for the sake of time, I want to make sure I keep this video short. I will be making a video real soon to go over those additional things that I've learned. Unfortunately, like I said, I do have to kind of minimize how much content I'm able to record while I'm training, because I want to respect the privacy of those around me. Once I get my truck and I get out here on the road, I'll definitely have more content again, so to make sure that I'm able to, show you guys the things that I'm learning during this process, and hopefully you can learn with me. If you found anything in this video to be helpful or insightful, please just take a quick moment to like, comment on the video, or share it to someone you may know that's looking to get into the trucking industry. So if you're tuned in, I appreciate you. Just take a moment to stick with me, and I'll be back to you real soon.